Make cheap, easy piping bags. Piping bags or pastry bags are not only used for cake decorating. They can also be used to prepare other pastries like meringue, éclairs, cream puffs, donuts, and more. Usually, pastry bags that are purchased from the store are reusable because they are made from woven nylon, polyester, rubber, or waterproofed cotton. However, purchasing piping bags can be quite expensive. If you will not to be using a piping bag often, then you might want a cheap and disposable kind. You can look for these in baking shops, but you can also choose to just make your own. Making cheap easy piping bags is not difficult. All you need is a plastic bag, a freezer storage plastic bag or a sandwich bag will do, rubber bands, and a pair of scissors. The following are the procedures to follow on making cheap easy piping bags. Determine the amount of icing you will use. Whether you are using icing or some kind of cream, determine the amount that you will be using so that you know how big the plastic bag you will need. Prepare the plastic bag. Depending on the amount of icing or cream that you will use, prepare a bag that will fit all of the ingredients that you will be using. Fill the plastic bag. Transfer your prepared icing or cream into the plastic bag and push it towards one of the bottom corners of the plastic bag. Make sure that the icing or cream is tightly compressed. Also, make sure to leave enough allowance at the top of the plastic bag so that you can still twist it later on. Determine how big your details will be. Determine the size of the details that you will be putting on your pastries. Cut the opening. Twist the opening of the plastic bag so that your icing or cream is tightly compressed and ready for squeezing out. Estimate the circumference that you want and use a pair of scissors to cut the tip of the corner where you pushed your icing or cream. Squeeze the icing out of the piping bag. You are now ready to use your cheap, easy piping bag. Use one hand to support the tip of the cone of your piping bag and the other to squeeze out the icing or cream. You see, making a cheap easy piping bag need not be expensive. You can still make as much wonderful creations as you want without having to spend so much on the materials that you will be using. Using this kind of piping bag is as good as using ones that are purchased from the baking shop. It is really all in the skill, and not in the materials you use. You can use this cheap easy piping bag the same way you would a reusable purchased piping bag. Form meringues, éclairs, and cream puffs or add filling to your donuts. There are no limits to what you can do. Enjoy baking and make your family and friends happy, too, with your creations.